quand tu... Non, je sais, mais c'est parce que je travaillais dans... Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Swing Trading Show. Sorry about the beginning. I have a little problem here, but we're there. So welcome. And the markets are quite lazy today. Not much is happening because the whole market is waiting for something to happen. And look at the market kept going up and down, crossing the zero line so many times already today. So now we got a little movement up. The first movement higher here that we had this morning is because the White House said that the Chinese were coming in town to negotiate the deal. So and then it came back, and now it's returning again. So not much is happening. The only nice movement we got this morning was on the USO at first, and then the oil stock. But now, you know, I'm not quite sure. I have warned everyone that we may have that new bullish cycle. Let's see what I mean is that last week I was explaining that since the big correction we had in the energy sector there, so whenever after the sideway movement, if the market breaks out, we're gonna have a nice swing trade to do from there to there. My only concern is that it happened, but it happened very on a weak movement, you know. So at first it did not continue. It came down, it came back, and it's back to the top of the day there in some cases. So I hardly see, because my problem is that. Wait a second here. My problem is that USO did not keep going, and right now, if USO comes back this way, it will have been a false signal probably. So I'm just waiting. You know, it was just not quite there. So I think if you take some position right now, I would go with half a position first. Okay, and there's quite a bit to say about that movement. So let me explain you that. So first of all, if you buy this TOU, that's going to be on a new high here, like 1970. And then do not consider this as being the support, so to exit the position if it doesn't work, because it's 1967, and then it would be selling at 1850. So it's $1 and something. So there's a possibility to reduce that risk a little bit there in say, okay, if I buy at 1970, and then I could place the stop at 1945, and it's the same thing on every stocks that are going to produce maybe a new breakout. Look, I 510 for CPG and the stop 497. So consider this sideways movement we have on every energy stock right now to be the point to decide if we're gonna buy higher than that, and then what is the selling price right under the the actual sideway movement, and it looked like Imperial Oil. It's about the same. Now it started doing a little correction, and it's going to happen to most of the stock, like you see. So CVE went up quite a bit, and then finally it went down. So that would be the price of exit. But now we want this to go back on top of the resistance. So it's kind of a not very strong movement. Again, same thing. PRX 21.85 to enter, 21.35 to exit, okay, if something goes wrong. And Canadian Natural Resources will look the same, okay. Entrance point 38.35 and exit price 37.80, So within that sideway movement, above this sideway movement, it's a new bullish cycle in the daily chart. And under those support is the exit price. So this is good for all of the movement on the energy stock. Okay, let me raise some question here that are old stuff. Okay, let's go further down. Okay, I have no question yet anyway, so that's what it is. Okay, let me erase them so I won't get confused on this. Okay, now everything new, I'm going to see it. Okay, so you know what? So the only thing we got to do right now, we got to do like the market's suggesting us to do: wait until something happened between China and the United States, because all expectations are there. Donald Trump has put some oil on the fire at the beginning of the week and saying that if they don't agree to something on Friday, but now they were supposed to, the Chinese were supposed to come on Wednesday. Now they are coming on Thursday and Friday. So will he divert the warning that he gave the Chinese this week? Because after he said that he was going to increase the tariff, the Chinese said, okay, we won't go. And then later they say, okay, we'll go. And so it's a real comedy, this story. So I think the market went down because of that over the last few days. We're actually on the support right now. There's nothing happening, but we know the market can take both direction after whenever we get the result of the meeting. So we can either have a big correction again, okay, or even a market breakout. So we don't know. So in the meantime, we gotta be patient for a couple of days. Be very, very selective on every movement we are buying, because the risk of reversals are still there. So try not to take too much risk. So right now the material goes down, the mining are not interesting, the gold keeps going down. There's only the energy sector to be watched this afternoon in case of that we do that famous breakout, and all of the other sector are doing almost nothing. Only the industrial goes back up, probably because of the railroad companies. So that's probably it. Exactly. So that's CNR and CP that bought back yesterday's quote. So that means confirming their new support, and that's all what it is. But there is no positive sector. And in the cannabis, it's not quite ready yet also, because look, there's still stock going down like a VFF, Tilray, and New Age Beverage, and so there's no strength on the market. It's still the cannabis is still making an attempt to build a support, but look, it's not a very strong support. It's been tested 3 times already, and look, there is no pullback. Even the shortest trend is still a downtrend, though. So I would not acquire any cannabis stock at the moment, just because the market is showing that the buyers are not there anymore. So it seems like it's a very long sideway formation when you think at it. So remember that the the longest and the more often those support are tested, the bigger is going to be the movement when it passes it. So we're not very, very far from there. So, you don't want to acquire new stock. I think considering this actual situation there, you should at least have placed some exit point there, because it is important, no matter what the name of the stock. If wheat passes this 4 days support here, it's going to go down. And they all have this big support there. And you can see it on every cannabis stock. So no matter which stock breaks its support, you got to reduce those positions if it happens, especially if you have many positions. Miguel, Boeing, New York, same trend of 737. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Boeing. Yes. It's Boeing is still it's a good company. That's the kind of company where you want to buy it in weakness. But when the weakness is over, though, and it's not so far, so we'll see what's going to happen. But so far, it's still very fragile. Look at it with a 15-minute chart, and at the best we have a little pause here. So there's $5 in between the top and bottom here. But if it breaks 352.50, it can go further again. So it's not ready yet anyway. So we shouldn't buy that, of course. So so I think the movement to watch this afternoon is the crude oil. If the crude oil comes back towards the positive sign, we may have the beginning of a real bullish cycle on the crude oil stock. But I'm not sure at all. I find the movement very, very fragile. Not strong. There's no strength enough in there, and the volume that happened very, very early in the morning, and after that it just did not keep going, and for the cannabis anyway. So I think you should avoid it. So I'm going for a little publicity right now, just for a little break for myself.
Find answers to your questions by emailing your host at btm@decisionplus.com.
5 good reasons to manage your investments with National Bank Direct Brokerage. Commission fees fixed at $9.95 anytime for all clients and starting at only $6.95 for active investors. No administrative fees if you hold at least $20,000 in your accounts. Registered accounts available in U.S. currency. Powerful tools to help you manage your portfolio. Award-winning customer service and satisfaction levels amongst the highest in the industry. To learn more, visit nbdb.ca or call us now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we can't say that we have a very good market and a very interesting market. It's pretty tough to make big money when the market is not doing anything. Everyone knows that. So until something happened between China and the United States, I don't think something's going to happen. So we're back at the top of the day, but it's only 100 points. How 100 points is almost nothing now on this market. So I think we got to be prepared for some movement. But I think at the market situation where it is right now, so if it starts going very, very bad, and if something bad happened between China and everything and the United States, I think we got to be prepared for a correction. So you got to consider your position and place stop loss in places where you say, if in case the market takes this direction, I want to go out here and that and there. It's more important right now than trying to buy stocks, because we just shouldn't buy any stock for a long, even short term, like for swing trading, before they came out with something there, because it's quite risky. Your position will be in the hand of those decider, because if they start fighting and arguing, the market could react very negatively, but also very positively. So we don't know. What the only thing, what I think is that something is going to happen before, but we don't know if it's going to be before Friday, because they arrive Thursday and Friday. We don't know exactly when. So when are they going to discuss? When are they going to agree or not, or something? So that can stretch until maybe Monday and Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know if the Chinese would like to spend the weekend in America, though. But GCL in Toronto, Miguel, GCL. Let's see here, GCL. Collabor Group. Oh, that's a nice stock. I like the stock a bit, but it's not quite ready yet. Supports are all higher. It's a big positive triangle formation. We see it very clearly in the weekly chart. To me, the entrance point is like 67 to 70 cents, which is 10 cents higher than now. But I think you better pay 70 than buying right now when the stock is not moving at all. Okay, so right now I think you gotta be a little bit patient. It's very hard today. The day trade doesn't work very well. The cannabis is going nowhere either, and I even expect Africa to come back, because I don't know what causes this last bullish cycle from 920 to 940. Only 20 cents out of $9, because when you look at the stock is not interesting at all. This is only a small pullback that we see here. It's so little, so we still have time. So don't think you are missing something. So that's going to be it for today, folks. Thank you very much for attending, and take care. Have a good afternoon.